All right, well, welcome everybody. We have a very exciting Monday night team meeting on deck tonight. I think there are lots of careful things. I always say this, I have to be careful on my part because some of these things can be released right now, and there are even more wonderful things coming down the pike as well. And so I want to be very sure that I share all that I can, and I hope you all understand as well that there are some more things coming, that it's just really important that we roll things out with very good timing. But I'm going to give you a little bit of background vision around some things, and I'm sure you have some curiosity if you looked at your email today around the announcement of, so this is how you say this, that EREA is actually pronounced ARIA. So I'm thinking of it like ARIA, like the musical score. That's just how I'm thinking of it. And what ARIA stands for, it's an acronym, if you didn't already guess, that is for EMH, or as they say in Germany, AMH. Like that's the, like I'm always like, what's AMH? And then I have to remember, oh, that's how they say EMH. EMH, Red Cave Oil and Gas, EM Global, and the A stands for Agian, but it's important that you understand that TMN is part of Agian, okay? So really what we're working on here is a tremendous collaboration between all four companies and a restructuring that allows us um, to bring to all of you an entire infrastructure, an entire ecosystem whereby you can bring customers into an array of strategic assets. Anything from the most traditional precious metals savings around silver, gold, platinum, and palladium through EM Global, into the strategic metals, the rare earth. All of those opportunities are going to be available to you not only within what we've already discussed as part of the coin shop with TMN, but as an entirely, as a standalone product. You will be able to market to people to get precious metals, to get rare earth and strategic metals, and they will be able to do that two ways: as a one-time purchase, or they can commit to a monthly payment plan for saving in metals for as little as $50 a month, and they make a 10, 20, or 30-year commitment. So these are some long-term asset savings programs. And the amazing part is, so this is basically what the agents in Switzerland have done. You've seen when we talk about there are 400 employees of those businesses, or 400 representatives. That's what those people are. And now we've negotiated that you can be part of that same opportunity. And what I think is probably the best news of all is that, guess how much it costs you to have a business package in order to market metals with this amazing company?
Zero. That's my point.
Zero. No pay to play.
Wow.
This is absolutely, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I have over 35 years in the networking industry, even in direct sales, guys. Even when I did things like sell that popular plastic kitchen product, or any of those things that are just even a sales opportunity. Everything I've ever seen, you've had to buy a kit, or you've had to pay for your training, or you've had to do something. So not only are you going to have, now listen, I also still pure freedom. if crypto and TMN is your thing and you are all over that, you don't have to add the metals if you don't want to. But if you are somebody who is all about the metals and all about the strategic assets, you don't have to focus on the crypto. You can offer one, two, or all three. Red Cave for us is not quite in place yet, but it's coming. Other things within this system that are coming include additional solutions for people who want accessibility to cryptocurrency. I know I'm talking slow because I'm being really careful. Who want additional accessibility to cryptocurrency, who are looking for ways to liquidate their assets, who are looking for other savings opportunities that include physical delivery of assets. So I am telling you all of this to say that this is the tip of the iceberg. We have somebody brand new, another crypto expert coming on board with TMN that you will get to see some, I think you'll meet him later this week. We got several, some of you had some outstanding TMN token issues where you had paid for your tokens and for whatever reason, those didn't finish the process before it timed out. They needed to be manually tied together, that sort of thing. And so I want all of you to know that the vast majority of any issues around TMN token was taken care of today or by today. And we know that there are still some additional, there are several of you in this room who have things that need to be done around at least two other areas. One would be things around like registration issues where people are not placed in the right spots or things need to be moved around, and those things are proving to be a bit of an IT nightmare. I'm just going to say, I want to create a proper expectation with everybody. And so let me just take one step back and then I'll address this all. So the beauty in all of this ARIA thing is also that I know you saw the CEOs from the companies coming together and we said, it seemed like everybody'd gone dark when actually what was happening is that it was very long meetings for many days in a row. What they thought might take a couple of days really took many, many days and turned out to be a massive restructuring to bring these companies all together in a way that lets us streamline the departments so that there's going to be congruence between the way the marketing functions, the way the IT functions, the way the customer service functions, and so on. Because we realized as we were putting this together that right now the back offices in those places are very different from each other. Like they're completely separately functioning companies. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, if you sign up for Frog and Toad's Wild Ride here, that's exactly, I will not promise you that this won't be a little bit bumpy as we negotiate some twists and turns. And what I know from experience is that being willing to be first means it can be a little bumpy, but typically being first means, it's the Oregon Trail scenario all over again. The first people who went had it the roughest, but they also got the pick of the land. And so that's exactly what we're doing here, because think of it this way. We knew that by bringing TMN and the token to North America, especially, that we were going to be able to offer people through our coin shop the opportunity to save in strategic assets like rare earth. That's brand new for the average investor in the United States. That is not a thing that they have been able to do. But at the same time, I have to tell you, um, I'm a little stingy when it comes to my TMN token. I wasn't so sure I wanted to part with TMN token right out of the gate until I see how it all works out with the stable coin. I want to have as much TMN token as possible that I can hodl until the stable coin comes out and I see how that's producing. And I wanted to, so I was like, wow, how am I going to right now out of the gate get enough TMN token and to think about long term what I might want to do in strategic assets and so on. My phone has been ringing off the hook lately. I have to tell all of you. I think because we've been known for over 7 years as being people who knew where to get gold or how to get metals. And even if people were never interested in the networking side of what we did, lately people are really turning to gold. They see the writing on the wall. They see what's coming down the pike. You can't just keep printing cash. You can't just keep infusing an economy over and over and over again with paper money and expect there to be no inflation. So this is like a classic setup for down the road for us to have some massive inflation. During a period of massive inflation, do you know what asset typically historically performs the best? Gold. Gold. It's stable. It's completely stable asset. And it, of course, it goes up and down. And of course, there are times in history when it's better or worse. But I think we're on the cusp. And, I'm not a financial expert. I'm just telling you my experience and what I've seen. And I suggest you Google it over time and educate yourself. When do metals do the best? In what scenario? All I can tell you is people are calling and saying to me, how can I get gold? How do you also have silver? Do you have, now I can say to people, yeah, I can set you up with a long-term savings plan and you can set whatever percentages you want to between gold, platinum, silver, and palladium. You can get all silver, you can get all gold, you can get a balanced basket of these, and you can do so, your customers can do so for as little as $50 a month. So it's like value cost averaging for metals. It's value cost averaging over time for strategic assets. So like the rare earth, I am so stoked about it. People can do one or two or everything. And it's amazing. And what's coming, we'll get the opportunity to train everybody around the way the payment system works. I will tell you this, like we get paid for TMN, we get paid in Bitcoin. And in the metals side of it, you will get paid in euros deposited directly into your bank accounts in US dollars if you live in the US, or in your own currency, and paid every 2 weeks. So this is I know a lot of you are looking for, an influx of income. We all typically are. And this is the chance to, even before the coin shop opens, and that would have been available to us, now we can complete the pre-sale and move into the ICO with TMN. And if you're also looking to build a business around strategic assets and other asset allocation, we can do that starting pretty much right away. So all of that to tell you that we are, and by we, I'm going to tell you about a company called Asland. It's like, will somebody type it in there for me? I know a couple of you leaders already know exactly what this is, so I want you to type that in there. Asland is basically the North American counterpart of Aria. Okay, we hold the single contract to bring Redcave, EMH, EM Global, and TMN into the North American market. And so I am the chief operating officer of that company of Asland. I could tell you there will be some other things coming down the pike later, but it also means that moving forward, I will have a lot more say in the structure of how your customer, for example, how your customer service requests are handled. It's very important to me. Um, for 7 years, you guys, my heart has been around getting people into gold and crypto and assets that can bring their families the kind of freedom that they need. Ultimately, if you know me at all, I like to trade crypto. I like to go do stuff with assets. I've been at this kind of stuff long enough that I could ride off into the sunset and just quietly go do that. And people ask me even like, why are you doing this? Why are you putting in these long days? Why are you doing this? So I'm going to tell you what it is for me. And I don't get choked up very often, but sometimes when I talk about this kind of stuff, it is a big deal to me. So let me tell you what it is. And you'll get a lot of insight to who I am as an adult, I guess, in general. Um, mm, Permission to be a little personal. Okay. I don't typically do that, but I'm going to. Um, Between my parents, they have been married 7 times. I did not grow up in a stable, I have great parents. They loved us the best that they could and with everything that they had, and they're very supportive of me and all of that kind of stuff. At the same time, I did not have an idyllic childhood that I would wish on other people's children necessarily. My parents weren't around very much. As a result, you can see that that was super important to me. I surrounded myself with a whole pile. I think I was too far in before I really knew what was happening. So as a result, I ended up with a pile of children, and the only option was to raise them because there was no other way to have them cared for except to do it on my own. And that means that Jim worked 2, sometimes 3 jobs when the kids were real little, and we were trying to figure out we weren't even close to making ends meet. We just tried to pull them into the same room so that the ends could see one another at least. And as a result of that, even my kids sometimes think we were working too hard and they didn't get enough time with us, and there were lots of them. And now that I have grandchildren, I'm so glad that I taught my kids a system whereby they could be entrepreneurs. They don't have to go out for jobs. Some of my grandchildren have not just one parent at home, but several of them have both parents at home. And I can't even tell you what amazing lives that makes for my grandchildren. Nobody's hustling them off to daycare. They don't have to mask up. They're having the same kind of play outside child. They have no idea what's going on in this weird, crazy world. And that is what I hope deeply for all of your families. And I want people to be able to, we get one shot at this, right? At this life. I want you to be able to pursue the dreams that are near and dear to you. And do I understand that people don't wake up typically in the morning and say, "Oh, God put me on this earth to sell cryptocurrency." Yes, he did. There might be some people. Uh, but I look at what we are a part of, and I look at this as the vehicle that brings you the kind of freedom that allows you to do what is deeply in your heart. My heart is deeply for children and for giving them the kind of a stable childhood that allows them to move forward in life with the best possible start. That's what I want. And I want that not only why do I not just want that for my children? I want it for everybody's kids because they're the ones that are going to be taking care of me when I'm old. They're the ones that we leave this planet to. And I think we need to make some better opportunities for them. So, as a result of that, when we saw the vision that we were a part of for 7.5 years, and about 3.5 years, 4 years ago, we started to see that some of those things were great ideas, but were maybe not coming to fruition as quickly as we would have liked, or maybe not coming to fruition in what I thought was the most professional manner. So what do people do when they see other people with a great idea who are having trouble executing? First of all, you attempt to come alongside them and you try to insert yourself wherever you can, or try to make their project roll and function and whatever you can do. But if you can only get so close to that system and you can only be so effective, ultimately you look for another way to make it happen. And so we looked for, and by we, I mean Faradune Guven, Rebecca Jenkins, Alan and Julie Jenkins, Jim and myself, um, some other people in the beginning that have since moved on to other things, or just weren't right for the project. But ultimately, this is the dream that we wanted to bring, was an ecosystem for all of you that would allow somebody to basically walk in with only an amazing attitude and a willingness to learn, and be put into a system that would allow them to ultimately, with hard work and and wanting to learn, and an open, that they could move into a 6 and later a 7-figure income. And so that's what we are trying to put together here. and and I'm sure that it will be ugly and bumpy and all of those things. I'm good at the vision piece, and as when you're walking it out, it's a little messy. I have a new appreciation, and I did know this because we've owned companies before, and we've owned a trucking company, and you have a heart to do certain things, and then people get involved, and it all just gets messy while we try to work out all of the specific things behind the pieces of what we are doing. So with all of that, I am sharing this all with you so that I'm asking you to trust us a little bit. I'm asking for your support and your trust, and I'm asking for you to know that when I say, I know this isn't quite done yet, but I've got you. I've got you here. I know that some of you are waiting to see some numbers on returns. I know that, believe me when I tell you, I can't go into details about the pool system today, but very soon I can go into the details and you're going to like them. So I I'm asking you to hang on just a tiny bit, and also because I want to show that we are people of action versus just the vision. I'm sharing this stuff with you now so that you can see this vision has been in play for since way before we started TMN. And that TMN is a sliver of what is to come. And you don't have to do the whole thing. This is literally like my dream of a kind of business like this has always been, let people, you've all heard it, people can get in where they fit in. But it was never that way. It was, you had to do the whole, like it was the whole thing because you were paying to get into the whole thing. And so instead here, I'm surrounded by a remarkable team of leaders and of all of you, and it emerged. I know that you're all in this place right now if you're in this room, it's because you were meant to be here, because there's an opportunity here. And um and we're so excited, we're so excited. Jim has had to walk around the house and step on my foot for weeks. Like, don't say that. Don't say that. You can't say that yet. Don't say that. And I still have some things like that. So what I'm asking for you all for this week, we are getting ready to head to Florida. It has been a long road for us to even I've been saying that for a week and we still haven't left yet, but very, very soon, because we will probably be there for more than a month as we put some things in place. Asland has a physical location in Florida. We will have a physical presence in an office. You are about to see that some of the people who are your leaders already have been training in some of this, and we're all brand new. Okay, we're all brand new. Nobody's fully trained yet in any of this. We're all doing this together, but a couple people are a couple steps ahead. This reminds me of like when I was homeschooling my kids. I thought to myself, wow, I haven't taken calculus in a long time and I'm not really sure I can teach it. And another mom said to me, you only have to be one lesson ahead of them. That's all. And so I I'm maybe two lessons ahead and the other leaders are about one lesson ahead. But we have a heart. We have a heart to make an amazing thing happen here. And we have a huge, huge opportunity. No one is doing this. And you're not limited to North America. Even though we are the North American counterpart of ARIA, you can do business anywhere in the world. Some of our leaders are from Belgium, as you well know. Some of our leaders are Canadian. Some of our leaders are from other places in North America and in other countries out. Or definitely, we have Spain represented. We have some Australians. We have people from all over the world, and we can continue to operate like that as well. So in the next 2 weeks, my commitment to you is that Work It Out Wednesday is a major part of our structure, and there are people who always have things that they want to make sure are advancing and issues, and I want you to know that we're there to hold that space for you. So we will continue to hold Work It Out Wednesday. I will on Friday night, at the very least, I'm going to do a recording for all of you about where we are in the process of what's being released. But I'm going to ask for some grace around webinars. I'm planning to, we are putting together a whole new webinar structure that will talk about everything that we offer. Okay. And yet I'm trying to add 3 more things, but not talk any longer. So you can imagine the challenge in that. And I think I need 1 to possibly 2 weeks to really get it all in play. So what you have right now are recorded webinars that your leader can set you up with, where you could literally send a YouTube link to someone if you need to. It's not that those are outdated. Like, we still have the pre-sale is still at play. You absolutely can bring people right now. We're going to continue to hold on the pool system for a few more days, but you can bring people into the TMN pre-sale right now. Stay close to the Telegram chats because things are going to start releasing at a pretty good clip here. And I just don't want people to go dark and a month from now be like, wait, I missed 100 things. How did this happen? And so things are going to be moving. I'm going to check in with you guys Friday night. And by Friday night, I'll be able to know just when webinars will be ready. I have read documents that are coming soon. I have met people that we'll be working with soon. I am practicing my German every day because I've been in more German speaking meetings than I ever imagined in my life. So it is so interesting to me. We have a lot of languages going on in a very globally based, multifaceted business. And I am like the only one that doesn't speak 4 languages. That's how I feel. So I am uh, the common language oftentimes is English, but sometimes it's German because we have people that live in Turkey and people that live in other countries that do parts of these things. And so it's been a very interesting time. And I, all last year, I just didn't know what I was even doing sometimes with certain things. And I just kept thinking, oh, I'm just going to get in good physical shape. I just feel like I want to have more energy. I don't know why, but I just want to do that. Well, and then I did some other stuff and people gave me this word that I was made for such a time as this. And I kept walking around going, well, I'm sure not seeing it. I don't know what that means, but okay. And so now I know. Now I know exactly, like I feel like I'm battle ready, and I've been wondering for the last few months exactly what it is that I was supposed to do. But this is it. We have the chance to, when people are financially secure, they make the choices that are best for themselves. When they don't, when they're, think about it. Why do people get divorced? Why do people lose their homes? Why do people, like a lot of really hard things that happen to people happen because they're so financially strapped. Just truly tragic things. We had someone in our sphere commit suicide yesterday, and over 2 things, health problems and financial problems. And I think like those are the big things. So if we have a business opportunity that costs you how much to get in again? How can that even be? How can that even be? It costs you some willingness to learn and a little effort out of the gate. And that's an amazing thing. And this way you can put money that you would have spent on a package. How about putting it into your own investment? How about securing your own financial future so then you can turn around and do that with the other people you're sharing with? So, all right, I don't want to keep anybody super long time tonight. I am so like stoked when I look around the room and see the caliber of people that are along with us for this crazy ride. I am, it just really excites me. So I'll take a couple minutes of questions. If anybody has a question, I'm more than willing to answer. And otherwise, I know there's a lot coming, so stay tuned. Oh, and for those of you who are hitting the recording, the deal is when you show up in person, you get the Q&A. So I'm gonna stop the recording, but stay close to Telegram over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully those Q&A things that you may have will get answered.